Japanese natural whetstone versus Coticule stone. Which one gives the better shave? Let's talk about it. And before we get into that discussion, I am using a Bismarck Pre-Dovo that Eric had sent to me with a Japanese natural edge. And my God, this guy knows his JNAT edges. This is an amazing edge. I have not had a JNAT edge feel this good. And to compare apples to oranges, I am using a Philharmonica 14 honed on a Les Lat hybrid and finished on a Chonley Forest. And I know what you're going to say, Sean, you're not using a Coticule versus a JNAT, and I know, but the points I'll be discussing here are still relevant to the conversation. I am using Bond Temps by Eric the Cajun Blade, beautiful tallow soap. I am using the Leon brush, and I'll be finishing off the shave with Daniel Maulu, the Legacy from Ariana and Evans, just a beautiful scent. Now we know that the edge feel of a JNAT is typically very refined, it's crisp, almost glassy or wispy feeling on the skin. It can produce an ultra keen edge, but with some stones, especially the soft ones, it can leave a soft, smooth finish as well. The Coticules, on the other hand, are known for producing extremely smooth, mellow edges. Some people say they have less bite than JNAT, especially against the grain, which leads some to underestimate their sharpness. Some people even go as far as to say they are forgiving or comfortable edges, or in some cases, they say they feel like they are dull. And when I look at these differences in the edge feel between the Coticule and the Japanese natural, this for me is not a problem. If anything, I like having diversity and being able to choose different edges that will feel different on my face. However, there are some people that say I cannot shave with X edge or Y edge because my beard is too thick. And I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but every single person I've heard say that usually doesn't have the thickest beard. It's usually the ones that keep quiet that do. Now here is my experience with straight razors and DE razors. No matter what razor I use, it could be a 30K edge or it could be an Astra green blade. When I do my with the grain pass, I never get BBS. In fact, with all of my shaves, I need at least 3 passes, no matter the edge, to get BBS. So even when I'm using an extremely keen edge, like a Japanese natural edge, I still need to do 3 passes to get the results I want, that super close shave. But guess what other stone gets me super close with 3 passes? Yes, every other natural stone that is on the list, it gets me BBS with 3 passes. The point I'm trying to make, and I hope other people in the comment section start discussing it and they can give their 2 cents. I actually promote that people start discussing this in the comment section, but the point I'm trying to make is when you get to a point of refinement, the keenness level of the razor is not as important as the actual different passes that you do on your face, like with the grain, across the grain, and against the grain. So in this case, a lot of people say the JNAT edge is keener, and thus it is better than the Coticule edge, or whatever other stone you want to put against the JNAT. It doesn't matter. They say the keenness is the determining factor that makes an edge good or bad. And again, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but that has nothing to do with it. If you are a good enough honer and you are a good enough shaver, you should be able to get BBS when you're done with your 3 passes. So to answer the question of which stone is better, the JNAT edge or the Coticule edge, the answer is both stones are supposed to get you BBS or as close as possible, no matter which one you have, when you're done with your 3 passes. If you are not able to get those results, I'm sorry, but the problem does not lie with a single stone. It lies with the honer and it lies with the shaver. Now, I'm not bullying on you or anybody on the forums. It's just an opportunity to grow. So if you can't get the results you want, keep practicing, keep improving, and have a good day, gentlemen.